Okay, so to start, my one-to-one coaching is done in Voxer. I with each session, I have a group chat with everybody that's in the session, and then I have one-to-one chats with everybody also. And then we have a Facebook group, in addition, where we share, where I share some like resources and the kind of like the course content that happens throughout that 3 month session. The course content is just like a bonus, like in addition to the one-to-one coaching. I fully believe like you're going to get into what you get out of something, or you're going to get out of what you put into it, right? So the way that the structure of the like coursework is first we want to make sure that you have calendar mastery. So establishing clear boundaries with your clients and having control over your schedule. You want to make sure that your clients know they can't call you at any time of day or night, right? So having that landing space, your calendar, um, so that they know and have a set expectation of how to contact you in order to book a trip with you. And then I go into why having a calendar is important. And we talk a lot about ditching the inquiry form. Um, there's a travel advisor in the industry that's like been a mentor for me, Marcy. I've done all of her courses and I recommend her courses throughout different steps of my coaching program to where it kind of makes sense and flows. And it took me like 2 years of her being like, Hunter, ditch the inquiry form before I finally got rid of that doggone thing. And I'm so glad I did now. But that's a hard habit to break if you started it.
I
And
have
then
it, but I don't really have clients that use it.
good, like it's best practice to get people on the phone and really learn about them and their pain points and what they want out of this trip, like what feelings they want this trip to evoke for them. That's really hard to do through an email. And then when you are trying to learn all these things about them, the inquiry form just leads to so many back and forth emails that could have been avoided if you just had a 20 to 30-minute phone conversation. And then they actually feel some sort of connection with you, and you're not just some words on a screen. So we talk about how to manage those communication systems and have a professional presence through email, through texting, and through the phone consultations all wrapped up together. And then your clients just have a clear expectation and it saves you time. So that's kind of like what week two encompasses. And again, this is all when I say week one, week two, week eight, whatever, this is in addition to the one-on-one coaching of what you're like focusing on. So this is just kind of making sure you're set up for success in the building blocks. So week three, we talk about defining those boundaries. What is non-negotiable for you to have a sustainable business model and build confidence in being the professional that you sought out to be? Because if you don't have boundaries and you're just kind of willy-nilly with everything, people aren't going to respect you as the professional. Um, think about any professional service that you're going to hire. You want them to present themselves as a professional. If they're just kind of out here floating in the wind, you're probably not going to hire them. So we really talk about how to set yourself up and present yourself as the professional because it really does help you close sales. Week four is about workflow and organization. So I'm not sure if you have like email automation set up or like a client management system where you're tracking all the important dates of online check-in or booking excursions, making sure transportation's locked in, making sure that they have their passport by this date. Um, all of those different things that are kind of like milestones in the planning trip. Maybe it's having them enroll in the STEP program if they're going on an international trip. So we talk about how to have a workflow for each trip. And that starts with the initial contact. So you're going to have a workflow for um, the follow up. You're going to have a workflow for once they book, and you need to have a workflow for when they come home too, so that you don't lose that connection. And we talk about that. And then week 5, we talk about destination specific workflows. So those are those automated emails for specific destinations that you're selling, you know, regularly. So whether that be Disney or a certain cruise line or an all-inclusive, you want to have workflows that work for that set vacation, and gives your client all that they need to know about that trip during their planning process. It really creates it decreases their stress and like fears and creates trust, and just embodies that high touch experience that a lot of us really want to offer our clients, so that they do come back and do provide referrals. And then kind of this is what week 6, but we really start on this from the get-go, and it's defining your aligned client. um, you to be able to market to, sell yourself to, and really know what destinations you want to expand to, you need to know your aligned client. If you don't know your aligned client and you're spending time and money on marketing or social media, you're just kind of throwing money into a void. They Because it's not going to, you're trying to do too many things with these funds, and you really want to make sure you're talking just to that aligned client. You don't want to be reaching people that aren't aligned to you. So we really talk about defining them, and how you're going to speak to them through your marketing, and how you're going to work through them, for them, and with them throughout the whole process. And then week 8, we talk about like the client care process and what your client care process should look like based on the business model that you have or want to have. So that's the time frame from the time they've already booked to the time they come home. How are you taking care of them and making sure that you're doing your job and maybe going above and beyond for these clients during the planning process that ensures seamless and memorable experience for them, that fosters the loyalty and referrals that we want in our best and aligned clients. And then some of the resources that I provide are like boundary setting scenarios, boundary script sheets. So how when somebody asks you a question, sorry, my dogs are barking. When somebody asks you a question, how should you respond? To ensure your boundaries are in place and that they're not overstepping that. We have I have a resource about how to have conversations with clients. If you
Sorry, what?
do you charge a planning fee?
I don't know.
Okay, so I really encourage like charging planning fees. Um, and I have like a resource of when you start charging, if you have like a reoccurring client or even a new client, say like, why, there's other agents that don't charge, like, why do you charge? Some responses for that. And then also there's a resource for a Costco reply. So when somebody says like, I found this at, this pricing at Costco or something, there's a well-written response in a resource that of course you can tailor to your own voice. And then I also have the same resource for onboard credit. So I don't condone onboard credit unless it's like, something you want to do because it's a return client or they have a special celebration or whatever, but I don't condone giving it to like everybody, if that makes sense. So I have another resource that talks about different ways to tactfully say, like, no, I don't offer onboard credit, and this is why. And then resources for connecting with the tourism boards, like their emails, their website, and which ones offer rewards programs. So, just for example, Dominican Republic, when you book trips through them, not only can you register those with the resort rewards programs, you can register those through, you know, the Dominican Republic Tourism Board rewards program to earn nights or whatever. So we talk about those, like what resorts have like the best rewards programs, and then specialist courses. So a big one that I see people wanting to expand to is Hawaii, and they actually have one of the best specialist programs. It's so helpful to learn the different islands, what clients are best for which island has what excursions, things like that. So we talk about the specialist courses for different destinations, what's worth it and what's not. And then if there's a Facebook group for just about everything. So, what Facebook group is worth joining for certain destinations and the resources they have. So, for example, Resorts of the Riviera Maya and Lori Gold has some experts. Well worth it. There's a new one for Jamaica as well. Again, it's worth it. So, we talk about those different courses. Also, some exercises we do is like the defining aligned client, value statements that speak to your aligned client, lead tracking. I've helped people, find their brand voice and their brand. I am constantly providing like feedback on, emails or itineraries or um, building like your email signature. Believe it or not, like the email signature is one of the first impressions and something that they're going to see every time. So your email signature matters. Um, and I actually love tweaking that because it can make such a big change in a small way. Um, and then like fee structures, I provide feedback on that and onboarding emails and client expectations. So if you're not sending an onboarding email or you're not sending something so your clients have expectations, we talk about what like ways to build that out. And then day to day, I mean, we have all different sorts of conversations. It could be something you're working on and want my opinion on. It could be something you just want me to review. It could be something as simple as if you want me to listen into a phone consultation or you don't even know what vendor to start with for a new destination. For example, we've done a this last session, we had a vendor come and talk about their product, and I explained why I like working with them and what business works with working with them. Um, and then I've also done some, connecting agents to PDMs and sales teams of, those property, a certain property or a certain brand. Um, so it's really about having the good base and building blocks that have a successful business down the road, and then best practices. And then, of course, as you expand, like I help you lead, I help lead the way so you don't feel like lost and you're just like reaching for straws. And that part is really individualized based on what you're wanting to break into. I know that was a lot. That was like information overload, drinking from a fire hydrant. Do you have any questions hearing all of that?
It's just like, well, like I said, I've only been doing this for just over a year and I'm expanding into all inclusives. But do you kind of like touch on, um, because like right now for Disney, like I do custom itineraries and I don't like if a client rebooks, I don't do the whole custom itinerary over again. I kind of just do it for the first client or the first trip and then I don't do it the next time. But like for all inclusive, for example, like should we be doing custom itineraries for these clients if they're only going to the resort and not really, if it's like all inclusive, they're not doing anything else? Like, I don't really know how to, I don't even know how to put that, but like, I
No,
don't,
I know what you mean. So I do provide an itinerary to my all inclusive clients. And when I'm working with my coaching clients, like if they ask me to see one of my itineraries, like I'm absolutely going to share it with them. I've shared examples in my coaching group already. But it's not necessarily about it being customized when you're talking about all inclusive. It's about it having all of the information they need to know.
right.
So, what they can expect when they land, as far as going through customs and collecting luggage, where to find transportation. Because, for example, Mexico, like you don't find your transportation until you're all the way out of the airport building. It's not usually like that domestically. If you have private transportation and you're rolling up in Orlando, they're going to be with your name on a sign at the bottom of the escalator. it's different in Mexico. So setting those expectations, making sure they know how to enroll in a STEP program, making sure they know about mobile passport control, all of the different things that just traveling to another country can, you know, bring up. And then also I like to make sure my clients know what restaurants take reservations, what ones don't. If there's um, a dining requirement, like men wear slacks kind of thing. Um, if I can get an entertainment schedule from the resort, I'll grab that. Um, just my itinerary will have like their flights and the system I use, their flights, if it's put in within 3 days of travel, will send them texts and emails if they have a flight change. And then it's not even all about like the itinerary, it's about the customized service. So for me, like part of my all-inclusive fee is that I'm tracking their flights. So I'm gonna know I use an app and I can load all my clients' flights in there and like tag it with their name. I'm gonna know if their flight gets delayed. It's gonna tell me when it takes off, it's gonna tell me when it lands, and it's gonna tell me if there's any delays, gate changes, or anything like that. And I text with my clients like on WhatsApp when they're traveling internationally. So I'll be like, they wheels down and I get a message that they landed. I'll send them a text and be like, welcome to paradise. Like that little stuff goes a long way. So those are some things that we talk about how you can elevate your travel business with small touches like that. And those small touches are what builds that loyalty and gets you referrals, which is essentially what the business of sales is built on, is those returning clients and the word of mouth referrals. Because when you have a referral, the referred people are already coming to you warm because somebody they know and trusted to ask for a referral refer you. Um, so that's our best book of business. And when you can do something to increase a client's satisfaction with you, you're gonna have a higher return rate and a higher referred rate. Um, and then we talk about ways that you can have those high touch moments with your clients. It doesn't have to be sending them a text when they land. It could be simply providing them something that they didn't know they needed. Um, you know, One thing I get told all the time that's on my packing list that they would have never thought of is a carbon monoxide detector. It's like $12 on Amazon and it plugs into the wall. But they're thankful to have learned that. Um, and then emailing the resort and letting them know your clients are checking in and asking them. I will provide like a letter that's already like typed out and has my logo on it and attach that. Literally all the resort has to do is print it. They don't have to copy, they don't have to copy and paste my letter and put it onto, a Word document, then print it. Like it is ready to go, ready to be printed. I have yet to find a resort that wouldn't print my letter and stick it in the client's room. Like just a small touch. Like, I mean, that doesn't cost you anything but 5 minutes of your time. So we talk a lot about things like that just to elevate your business and make you stand out. Um, and then I've had, people, simple questions of things of in the business that they didn't know or they want to know, that we talk about. A lot of people don't realize how important industry connections are. They don't know about like what conferences are worth it and what conferences aren't. So those are things we touch on. It's really just having somebody who's been through the industry, been where you are, that can help you increase your knowledge and get to where you want to go faster. Kind of like cut through the noise, if that makes sense. Do you have any other questions? No? Okay. All right. Well, that's a really good rundown. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But other than that, I feel like I gave a good rundown. I would just say, like, if you've been thinking like this is me, or you've been like reading my posts and you're like, yep, I've experienced that. Whether you're scared to mess up if you sell something outside of theme parks, or you want to offer more, but you don't know where to start, or you feel like I'm doing so much work for so little return. Like if you've had those thoughts, like I get it, I've been there, I've been you. Um, this really is for you. I was in the place over 10 years ago where I didn't have any mentor. I learned everything on my own, researching things. And it was like a sink or swim. And I had many moments where I felt burnt out in the industry and I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And I swore I wasn't going to let anybody else feel like that. And that's one of the reasons I started this because I want to give people like the head start, a little bit of a jump that I didn't have. Because the things I tell my coaching clients are things I wish somebody told me 10 years ago because I would have gotten successful a lot faster than I did. Um, I didn't sell much my first 5 years, and it just is what it is. So I wanted to be that person for that I didn't have for other agents, whether they're new or they're just expanding outside of the theme park bubble, because I had to seek and find somebody that could help me because I was in an agency where they didn't sell outside of Disney, which was fine. But I knew I wanted more and I wanted to be able to offer that to others. Any other questions? No? Okay. Well, I think that's
I was going to say awkward silence.
yeah. Um,
Hunter,
so
I
I
prepared a song and dance for this. I prepared a song and dance for you.
did
No,
you?
I didn't, but I'll do it.
Oh,
Sarah, do you want a song and dance? Sarah's into it. Look, she's totally ready.
um, yeah.
Hunter's like,
Jenny and
holy shit,
Lizzie,
Lizzie.
Lizzie and Jenny are my coaching clients currently, and um, I think they can vouch for what I do and what I offer my coaching clients. Like I try to be there as much as I can. And we'll be having, and sometimes it's just about having a community, having people who are in the same situation as you, um, to bounce ideas off of that are unbiased and you can get a professional opinion from. And you're going to walk away with like industry friends that you can count on for many years. Um, and that's another thing I love about and there's something to be said for industry friends outside of your immediate agency who can look at this as community over competition, because there's plenty of clients to go around, but just having somebody else's brain space that you enjoy to talk to, um, and being able to connect with them on a professional level to see, are you on the right track? Can they help redirect you? Or maybe they are stronger in one area than you. It's really just nice to have that circle. So some days we talk about work all day, and some days we laugh together and maybe even cry together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say just the community. I mean, in addition to all of the other stuff, like so I'm just going to take over the meeting for 2 minutes, Sarah, and give you my quick rundown. Sorry, Hunter, but here we are. It's not a song and dance, but I can add a little zhuzh to it if you need to. No, I am in a position is that okay? I'm so sorry. I'm just moving on in here, like
Lizzie, you're fine.
busting out. So I
It's
became an
the
agent a
LK
couple
way.
years ago and I loved it. I loved it because I was like, I love Disney and I think that's so much fun. And I am really good at picking up hobbies and like learning everything I need to learn. And then I get over it really quickly. And this was one of those hobbies that stuck for more than 5 minutes. So I definitely have my moments, like even just being like a couple weeks in with Hunter's group, I was like, I don't even know if I really want to be a travel agent anymore. Like this is like some of this stuff sucks. Like it's hard. It's not easy anymore, right? Like it's not, there's some things that like I figured out just flying by the seat of my pants. I'm with a small agency that really focuses on theme parks. There's a couple girls that branch out and do like sandals, but I don't know anything about it. I'm not in a place in my life where I'd be going to sandals. I have two young kids. Like it's just not something that I'm like, I just don't feel like I'd be qualified to sell it. And I'm just not super interested in it. But all that said, I met Hunter at a time where I was kind of at this like, oh, I really love going to Disney. I love traveling to, I mean, I have Disney everything. This is like a Pirates of the Caribbean shirt. I like eat, sleep. I love Disney. I don't actually like planning Disney vacations for other people. I just want to go to Disney by myself. Really, that's just how it is, Sarah. I don't even want to take my wife or my kids. I don't. I'm like, I just want to go to Disney. That's my happy place. That's like where I go. I'm sober. That's where I go get like high. Okay. Like basically, that's my dopamine. And I was like, so what am I doing? Like, wow. But I do love like connecting with people. And so I met Hunter and I was like, right away, I was like, this chick knows her shit. Like just sitting next to her, like she's just magnetic. And I'm not, she's not, okay, she's right behind me with a gun. Okay, I'm the middle way, whatever. No, but instantly I was like, oh, and so we just became quick friends on this fam that we were on. And I was like, I need you to teach me your ways. Like you exude confidence. And even if it's fake, like I'm here for it. Like you exude confidence. Like I think right now the world is crazy and it's hard to feel like I think community is what we need. That's what we're missing. And to go to a fam where it's like you can tell you're talking to other agents and they're like, "Oh, well, what agency are you with?" And like there's just this weird cattiness with women that I don't have time for. I don't have time for that. Like and so I was just kind of in this like, do I want to be in this industry? And I think I don't know, I feel it are you with an agency? You're going to go report me back to my agency, aren't you? I'm just like verbal blah. I think there's a lot of people in the theme park world that are just like so catty, and I'm like, do you even enjoy what you're doing anymore? Like this is about. There are plenty of clients to go around, and I catch myself doing that where I'm like, oh, my friend went traveling and they didn't book with me, and like, no, we're not entitled to anybody's travel. Like we're not, and I don't like. And most of the people I get pissed, but then I'm like, I don't actually want to work with those people anyways. And so like this has been really good to sit and be like, okay, who is your aligned client? And these are things that I won't do on my own because I have like a level of like ADHD autism. I can't fill out these forms. And so I've invested. I'm like, I'm gonna invest the money because then it's gonna force me to do these questionnaires and all this stuff. And that's not what we do in our group. But uh basically my life has just been a hot mess. I was taking care of my mom. She died like right as we started this program. And so poor Hunter just has to deal with me being like, yeah, I'm whatever. And this week she was like, bitch, I'm so tired of your whatever. Like just do something. And I was like, okay. But I love that because you're like Hunter's meeting me where I am and she knows that like right now my productivity level is low, but it feels like a rebirth. Like it feels like kind of ideal timing. Like it feels like this is kind of time for me to like go in, do these courses, work with this community. And almost everybody in our group, we're all very different. We're all from different places. Like we started talking and then like somebody was like, oh my gosh, I just lost my parent in like November. And I lost my parent 2 years ago, but I'm still like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm having this Taylor Swift, you're a mastermind moment. Like, how did you manage to get this group of people together? And other people that I probably would have like never met, right? Because like that's just what like the interwebs does for us. But I will say that just having community and knowing there's no cattiness, like Jenny Joe, she's on there all the time. She's like giving us all of her information, actually.
And
Like
the reason why
more
I'm doing that is
with it. I
because
love
you
it.
never know what the heck you need to know until you need it. And why not just give it now while I'm already going through it? That's
Absolutely. And
wonderful.
I've had moments where I'm just like, oh my gosh, it feels like there's some things where I'm like, oh, okay, we're both kind of in like there's a couple other women that are like, oh gosh, like I hate my agency. They're trying to like move out and stuff. But then there's other things that I'm like, I'm so far behind. And Hunter's like, you are right where you need to be. And like, let's work on that. And so it's this great, like, I don't know, it's this good safe space to just be like, hey, I'm having a crap day. It has nothing to do with travel, like whatever. I feel like we're allowed to show up. And I think that that's kind of what I've decided for me. Like my ideal client, like I want to, if I walk away, I want my clients to know that like all I want them to do is show up authentically with whatever they do, whatever vacation they take, I want them to show up and enjoy their vacation. And so as a queer person, like that's really big, especially given like everything that's happening in the world. I feel like queer people are like, we need to be louder. And so I want clients that I want to be like, you can be louder, like do it, but it's also teaching me to be louder. And so I feel like there is this level of like personal development and I've taken up all of your time. And I'm so sorry I didn't write a song about it, but it's been a beautiful couple of months.
We love Lizzie.
Even when I'm
But
not the best.
she's right though. Like it just because we have the group chat and the Facebook group doesn't mean everybody's going to be on the same pace. And I will meet you where you are, and I will respectfully give you the nudges you need. I know that for Lizzie, I need to be like, you need to complete one task today, and then you're going to tell me what it is.
And I
And
did
she's
it. I
like,
completed
oh,
like three,
okay.
girl.
But see, like, I know that's what she needs. So it's also about like knowing each other. Jenny, she went to Africa, and I was like, girl, you have to post some pictures. She doesn't love posting on social media, but damn it, she did it. And her posts and her pictures were great. Um, so I really try to meet people where they are, get to know their pain points, just like we get to know our clients' pain points, and really help them beat that struggle. If that makes sense. So as much as it is generalized, it's also personalized. And then, of
And
course,
just
we
in,
have some flair.
and I was going to say on a note on Lizzie's and your Hunter, your community takes on this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm seriously like, I'm not sharing shit. It's not that I don't want to share. It's like, I got this. It's my little huddle up. And for me to reach out and ask for other people's opinions is way beyond what I normally do. So for me being in, yeah, that look crazy.
Like, really?
Yeah, I've been dropping shit in there like crazy because I'm trusting in the feedback and it's been great. That's not my norm.
Yeah, and I also push like no gatekeeping. Like we really I try to share everything I've learned and all my resources. If anybody asks me for something, like I'm handing out information. One of my coaching clients asked me, like, what is my process from the time somebody contacts you to the time they come home? Like, what is your process? And I typed her out step by step what my process is because she was just feeling like she was missing something. So I'm really big on like not gatekeeping with my coaching clients. Like, I will give you as much knowledge of mine that you're willing to take. Um, and again, it circles back to you're going to get out of it what you put into it. The more time we're talking back and forth, the more time you spend with a group, the more time you spend on the things and resources that I've developed, the more you're going to learn and you're going to walk away feeling like that was a good investment. So, um, Katie, thanks for hopping on. I did record this for the beginning part. If you want to go back and rewatch it, we're almost done. But do you have any quick questions for me while you're on before we hop off?
Yes, let me here. I'll turn on my video too, since I just logging on. There we go. I guess my biggest question, sorry, my son decided to vacuum,
You're fine.
is I have already made the move from theme parks to other things. Is are you primarily focusing on, and you maybe this has already been asked, and I'm so sorry, but I was like, I can get on quick. Um, but is there more? Obviously, there's more to be learned, but what can you do if I'm kind of beyond that?
Yeah, so so we talk about like tightening up your workflow, tightening up your boundaries,
Mhm.
um, email automations, marketing, making sure you're talking to your aligned client and what if you're not, what you're damaging by not doing that. Um, and then talking about charging fees and there's a lot of other things that we talk about. And then, of course, if you want to branch into like a new destination, Hawaii, Europe,
Okay.
um, we start a good pathway and kind of pave the way for you to head in that direction, making sure you're including all the things that you need to in itinerary, such as embassy information, step enrollment, packing things that people might not think about, such as like a carbon monoxide detector I mentioned, mobile passport control, and like really just elevating your client experience so that you're getting building those loyal clients and those getting those referrals um, and having like that high touch process so that you can take your business from 200 trips a year down to 150 because you're getting more aligned higher spenders because of the concierge care you provide. So that kind of stuff. Um, I hope that helps answer it. You can send me
Yeah.
a message if it doesn't. We are
Definitely,
going to get
definitely.
kicked off.